Bass, maybe we should be in the middle for these guys to not start the fight before tomorrow.
Right next to
They're professionals. They can do it.
All right, all right. It's a good stage here.
Yeah, I think we're waiting for a video, but we can start without it. So let's get going. Good afternoon, guys. This is definitely going to be the most violent speech that you get here today, TOKEN2049. So we got some introductions. Now that everyone's out here, you can see where they are. So these two guys in the middle are fighting tomorrow night. Luke Rockhold, Joe Schilling, two former world middleweight champions. We'll see who's the best striker in the karate combat rule set. Bass Rutten, MMA OG, and GSP, who needs no introduction, go to MMA. So, a little bit about karate combat. Karate combat, let's get, yes, great. So, karate combat was created from the ground up for the next generation of sports fans, starting with viewership. So, when you look at how younger people view sports today, they watch sports on their phone, they watch sports via social media. They're not sitting around and watching a long TV program. We built the league for those fans. As a result, at Karate Combat, we have absolutely zero paywall. You can watch Karate Combat on TV in 100 countries, but at the same time, you can watch it online. You can watch it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, karate.com, you name it. More recently, we've been partnering with the world's biggest streamers. We allow them to show Karate Combat on their channels in their languages the way that they like to present to their audience. The other thing interesting about Karate Combat is we built the rule set from the ground up to be fast-paced and entertaining. If you're a casual UFC or MMA fan, the way I would describe it is UFC with no wrestling. But more specifically, we have shorter rounds, we remove the grappling, and then we put together a rule set that favors aggression. Quite frankly, I think it's undeniably the most exciting rule set in combat sports today. The second thing about Karate Combat is we want every single production to look like real-life Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. We do this using one of two formats. First, as you can see, we have in our event in front of a fully rendered 3DX VFX background. We do this using Unreal Engine and precise remote camera tracking. The second format that we have is this. We have events in exotic locations. This was a 5,000-person amphitheater in Casa de Campo. Oh, I forgot about this one, actually. This is an interesting story. So our president, Awesome, he was making some amazing content, and I was at his mom's house. So what did we do? This is Karate Combat Kickback 1. We had 2,000 people in a residential neighborhood, filmed it to 100 countries worldwide, all from Awesome's mom's house. So the last thing about Karate Combat is we're the first sports league governed by a token. When you look at the landscape of fans today, and when you look at Karate Combat, we feel that there was a huge opportunity to give the fans more control. So what we did was, 2 years ago, my partner and I sold the assets of Karate Combat to an offshore foundation. The foundation still holds those assets. We structured the foundation in such a way that can fully govern the league. Karate Combat has unbelievable awareness. In just 7 years, we have over 6 million followers, but our viewership is really impressive. We have hundreds of millions of organic views per month. The problem is, how do you take that incredible awareness and convert those fans into super fans? We think we have a shortcut offering them a little financial incentive. So if you actually pull our target audience, you'll see that 50% of them are only likely to watch a sporting event if they have a bet on it. So our dream was, how do we offer financial upside to every single one of our token holders for every single fight? The answer is Web3. So 2 years ago, we started building out a Web3 platform. We branded it as Up-Only Gaming. We leveraged the latest DeFi tools to allow our token holders to pick a group of fighters before every single fight. If your fighter wins, you win too by getting additional tokens. We set aside a prize pool of karate tokens, which we did in advance, so it's already in our FDV. we set aside a prize pool for the winners for every single event. So what's going to happen over time is that the most active users are going to govern the league more, taking away from the unactive users. Additionally, the fighters get 10% of every prize pool, so they become involved as well. So far, we've definitely had amazing returns and engagement from our users because of this. As far as our mobile app, very simple, straightforward, easy UI UX. Our front end is in Android and iOS. You can go download the app, you get 88 karate tokens, and you can use them to vote on fighters for our next event after this one coming up, which is in Austin, Texas, next month at Consensus. So, how has it been working? And last month we had 62,000 users play the game. More impressively, we have 50% growth month over month. We're on track to become the biggest game in Web3 this year. But more importantly, when you look at these numbers, they're a fraction of our real fan base. And they're a fraction of what a traditional sports league gets. So we think we're just scraping the surface in terms of taking the normies and converting them into Web3 in a very simple way that they might not even know is Web3. So now for the fun part. I'm going to turn it over to our panelists. First, I have a question for Boss, and then he's going to ask the other guys some questions. So, Boss, my first question for you. You're chairman of Karate Combat. You know, we already had a great thing going. You know, we were one of the hottest properties in combat sports, and then now we've gone headfirst into Web3. What are your thoughts been about this experience?
It's been really amazing. I mean, I started with karate, then I went to Thai boxing, then I did Taekwondo, then I started competing in Thai boxing, Taekwondo, Thai boxing to mixed martial arts. And mixed martial arts, suddenly they called me 5 years ago. They said, hey, you want to be part of a new full contact karate organization? I said, sure, sign me up. Because that brings me right back to where I started. And the way you guys have been doing it with the Web3, I mean, you're taking something old, like karate, for instance. Now, first of all, fighting has been around for ages. We all know combat sports, and a lot of people love combat sports. 86 years ago, Funakoshi Gishin, he decided to start karate. Karate means empty hand. That means you have no weapon in your hand. It's all about the person in front of you, the style, the persistence, the heart, the determination. It's all about that. Who is the better fighter? Then we go fast forward. In 2013, Web3 came along. I think they got coined by Kevin Wood in 2014. And that started taking storm. Now, 5 years ago, Karate Combat started bringing new life to karate with a full contact organization, and here we are. Now we have something old, 86 years old, so to say, bringing new life in it together with something that is new and fresh. And that's why I think it's a match made in heaven.
Okay, great. Do you have any questions for the panel?
Of course we have questions for the fighters tomorrow. So, first of all, I need to say that both these fighters are pretty much identical in size, in reach. I think Luke has a 1.5 inch reach advantage. Joe will be 10 months older, but for the rest, everything is the same. So that means that it's all about the style. Which style is going to win? We got the elusive style of Luke Rockhold, and we got Joe Schilling. He just wants to murder people. That's what he does. And that's why they call him Stitch Him Up, because he let a lot of people give stitches. Then again, the chicks dig stitches, right? That's what they say. So, yeah. Luke, for yes, a guy boss, who is tough as nails, as I just said, you know, did you bring in Muay Thai fighters who could mimic him for your training camp?
I was actually here in Dubai filming a show, and this popped on my plate about 3 weeks ago, and I feel like it was meant to be. It was first supposed to be Jacare Souza, a rematch with an old foe of mine, but he declined, and I got this name of Joe Schilling. I'm familiar with Joe. I've been around Joe in the game for quite a while. We worked together a couple times, but you know, I think some fights are just meant to be. I was meant to be here in Dubai, and me and Joe, meant to test our metals.
All right, and Joe, you already fought mixed martial arts, and a lot of people are, what does that have to do with anything? Well, boxing is very close together. Kickboxing is a little bit further together and away from each other, and the fighters in mixed martial arts stand further away because there'll be takedowns. Now, Karate Combat, what you might not know yet, has also takedowns. So you can take somebody down and ground and pound him until he's either out or he can lock you up, and then the referee will reset you on the feet. So you are used to that distance. Same question kind of for you. Did you bring in people who are as elusive as Luke is, because it's a completely different style?
Well, I was in the same situation that Luke was, where this kind of fell on my plate 3 weeks ago, and I probably ordinarily wouldn't have taken the fight on such short notice, but like Luke said, we have known each other for a long time. I have a lot of respect for Luke. It was an exciting fight, and Karate Combat, the format of it is exciting. It's my kind of style of fight, and I think it's going to be a really exciting fight. You know, Luke and I match up really well together. We're both very similar styles, so it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a good one.
And Luke, what do you think is the biggest difference between your and his style? Not giving away game
I think movement. I think obviously I have pretty vicious ground and pound when I want to use it. I think I have different power than he's ever felt kick-wise, especially at 195 pounds. I'm not taking any weight away. I'm going to be bringing, like I know Joe's fought some of the best guys in the world, but I guarantee he hasn't felt power like mine, and there's going to be movement that he's not prepared for, and obviously there's an element of takedowns. He's got power in his hands, but I got to take that out of it, and I got to open up my game. I got a lot of avenues to win this fight. It's my fight to win. It's my fight to lose.
He's the former WBC Muay Thai light heavyweight champion, right, interim champion. So he knows how to fight. Again, same question for you, Joe. What do you think is the biggest difference with your fighting style? And do you maybe want to hurt him a little bit more? Because let's face it, he's a male model as well, right? Everybody knows.
Hey,
I mean, Luke does
Joe
have...
tried his hand at modeling. Hey, don't act like you didn't get your face in there. I know you in them, Joe.
I might have modeled a little, but not at the level that he did. And, I mean, who doesn't want to punch this guy in the face right now? You know? Stylistically, it's a like I said, it's a very similar fight. Luke has much more experience in grappling and wrestling and mixed martial arts. I was more of a kickboxer that was kind of forced into mixed martial arts. I never really developed that side of my game, at least not to the level that Luke did. And yeah, it's going to be if Luke can implement his game. I personally don't think he can, but I'm sure he feels the same way about me implementing mine. But yeah, I think I'm a little faster. I think I hit a little harder. I think I have a little better movement. I think I've been in there with a little better strikers. Luke's been in there with the best MMA fighters in the world and I'm sure he has very good ground and pound, and I hope that I can shut that down.
All right, so last question for both of you. How's this fight going to end? And be precise. Let's see if you can say it's going to be a right high kick, it's going to be a left hook, an uppercut, and in what round? And if you really want to beat it, what minute?
Well, I think on 3 weeks' notice, neither one of us wanted to go 5 rounds. And, I think if I implement my game plan correctly, I think it's a first-round knockout for me, and I'm sure he probably feels the same way for him.
Counter.
No, he's not going to share. He doesn't want to tell it.
I'm not rushing things, but I'm going to take my time. And I think I could take him out in the first round. I think my left kick is a danger on all levels for him. And then proceeding to that, maybe I could hurt him, finish him on the ground. I like that. I like one to the next.
Bass, if I may, I'm so excited for the final tomorrow. On the one side, you have arguably the best American to have ever competed in kickboxing, Muay Thai, and on the other side, you have former Strikeforce and UFC champion. They both gonna fight in a different environment that they have never competed before. First, you don't guard the same way with small glove than you do with big gloves, and also the surface on which they're fighting is different. It's in a pit. So it changes everything, the environment. I'm so excited for this main event. It gives me goosebumps. I have a question for you guys. What are your goals by coming in Karate Combat? What are you looking for outside of course, winning the fight? What would be your long-term goals?
Honestly, with the with the pandemic and COVID coming in, it really shut down my career, and I almost retired. I'm kind of retired for the last 5 years, and when I was in my peak in kickboxing, my children were pretty small, and they know what Dad's done his whole life, but they haven't get to experience it to the level that they do now, and I've really took this fight because I want to show my little boy over there who his dad is and who his dad's always been. And if this is my last one, I'm gonna go out with no regrets. That's why I'm here.
Okay,
I'm looking to stitch him up. I mean, I'm looking to win this fight. And put on, I want to fight in Dubai. I want to put this man down. So I'm here to perform for Dubai. I think it's an awesome opportunity to be here in Dubai. And I mean, that's a big nose. It's a big target. I'm gonna aim for it.
and before we're gonna do a stare down, actually, a shirtless stare down, ladies. So you just wait. But George, a long time ago, like I would say 3 years ago, they asked me, oh, we want him to be maybe on the show. And I said, no, don't get that guy. He's a hard guy to deal with. I said, why don't you get George St-Pierre? He said, we can't get a hold of him. And I said, let me text him. I said, George, hey, what's up? Hey, I want a question about karate combat. 20 seconds later, my phone rings. It's George. He goes, dude, I'm watching the show for the last 2 years. I would love to be able. They don't even have to pay me, he even shouted. And now he's here. And what do you feel, George? What do you think of karate combat?
Bas, I'm so thrilled to be here because my first style of combat that I've learned is karate. I start karate because I was bullied at school, so I start karate as a self-defense. Then it developed into a passion. It changes me from the inside out, and then that's how later on I earn a living with, you know. So karate for me is everything, and we don't realize it, but karate is probably one of the style, or probably the combat sport the most popular, because there's different style of karate.
Yes.
And what karate combat brings is it brings a different option for karate fighter to go pro. And karate combat is a mix. We have different rules that forces, it doesn't favor any particular style of karate, but it makes them fight under the same roof with a specific set of rules. Of course, it's with small gloves, it's in a pit. There's throws allowed, 5 seconds while they're on the ground. So I think it's very interesting, and it has a bigger reach for the audience. That's why it's so exciting.
All right, great. Well, our time's up, so right before the face-off, I'd like
Let's
to say,
do a
look,
face-off.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
you guys can see how passionate these icons of combat sports are about karate combat. You know, with the traditional fans, we're really taking off, and we're going head first into Web3, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for token holders to have a part of something that's really blowing up right now. So
All
with
right,
no
Chip
further
Deals,
ado,
let's take those shirts off. Music.
Yeah, you are, Mike. All right, the big final,
good.
guys, tomorrow. Joe Schilling against Luke Rockhold. Nice.
Oh, some seriousness here going on.
all right, thanks everyone.
Robert Bryan, what a thing you have made. Congratulations on Karate Combat. Fantastic. Boys, you ready? No, I'm not throwing down with these boys. That would be a very bad idea. I'll wish you both luck tomorrow night. I don't have any money. Jean St-Pierre du Québec, du Canada, mon frère. Je suis tellement content que tu étais ici.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Ross, Bas, great. Congrats. Yeah, you're done. All right, thank you very much.